Welcome to Mac Maker's Fusion 360 tutorial video number 1. This video will take you through making an education account and some of the basic features of the 3D design tool Autodesk Fusion 360. So the first thing you need to do to get started using Fusion is create an education account for Autodesk Fusion 360. So open up a browser like Chrome and search for Fusion 360 for students and educators. It's important to make an education account because then the software is free. You can click on the page for free software for students and educators. And from here, click Create Account. Follow the prompts, put in the necessary information to create your account. Make sure you connect it to your school email and you use a password you can remember. Once you've created and verified your account, you can open up Fusion 360. It takes a while to open up sometimes, so just be patient. And once Fusion opens, it will prompt you to log in with the account you just made. If you're having issues, follow the prompts such as forgot password in order to figure it out. Once you're in, you'll see the basic design window. Up in the top left, you have the typical functions like file and save. Just below that is the toolbar of common tools you use while designing in Fusion 360. We're going to look at Sketch a little bit later. Over to the right is the view cube, so you can use the view cube to look at your design from various angles. And on the left-hand side is your design tree. That's things like settings, where you can change the units, inches to millimeters, or whatever you want. The origin, so if I click on the light bulb next to origin, it shows me Y, X, Z, and then the 3 major planes. And as you design, things will pop up over here. So these are the basic tools you'll use. We're going to start by saving our file. So I go up to File, click Save, and give my file a meaningful name. You can save it in whatever folder you want. I'm going to save this in Geometric Jewelry Project. And now I can start sketching and modeling. The nice thing about all the tools in Fusion is if you hover over them, it tells you a little bit about what they do. So maybe I don't know what this button does. I can hover over it. It will tell me the tool name and give me a description and a visual. I'm going to start by sketching. So I want to create a sketch. I click and release on Create Sketch. And then I need to select a plane to draw on. It doesn't matter. I'm going to click the XY plane. So I click and release, and now I have selected a plane. My sketch palette opens up, so that's a bunch of different tools you can use on your sketch. The most useful ones are going to be up here in the top left. I can create lines, rectangles. So if I click on the drop-down menu, I can create a bunch of different other shapes. Depending on your version of Fusion 360, this menu might look slightly different, but you'll still have all of these sketch tools. So I'll start by just showing how to make a circle, a rectangle, and some lines. So if I hover on the sketch drop-down menu, click and release, hover over circle, and then I can select any of these types of circles. I'll do a center diameter. Once I click that tool, my cursor has changed, so you can see the circle next to it. I click and release to place my first point, and then I can drag to set my radius, or use my keyboard to enter in the dimension directly. Then the next time I click and release, it sets my circle. I can also click and release for the center point, drag to what dimension I want, click a second time, and that's another way to make a circle. Once you're done using a tool, you can press Escape and go select another tool. Maybe I want to draw a rectangle, click and release. The rectangle has 2 dimensions, so I can enter one dimension, press Tab to go to the second dimension, and then enter that. Press Enter to lock down my rectangle. And finally, with lines, I click and release for each point to draw different line segments. And once I'm satisfied with my drawing, I can click and release on the green check mark to finish drawing that line. So hopefully this introduced you to how to create an Autodesk Fusion 360 educational account, open up the software, some of the basic features, and how to do some sketching.